female humanitarian worker in Malaysia who sees challenges as learning chances stands out in society. Tzu volunteers built a reusable stage with locking screws for sutra adaptation to celebrate Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary.
歡迎收睇大亞 Headlines， 我係 Ruby 我哋一齊嚟睇下今日嘅內容。March the 8th is the International Women's Day. It is not difficult to see many outstanding women nowadays contributing to the economic, political, and social fields. But Mama Zhen Yan is one of them and has won the Buddha's Outstanding Women Award. Today, we are going to meet a female humanitarian worker in Malaysia who sees challenges as learning chances.
Wherever you are, for women, please get your knowledge. Go and acquire knowledge. Go and learn something. Go and get new skills.
Like ordinary housewives, dating Azura Ibrahim has 4 children. Her family is one of the focuses in her life.
So after work, I'm always at home with my children. I cook. I only have 7 days a week. 5 days I work. 2 days is the day for me, is the day for my family.
Azura began working since she was 18. She has been involved in education, business and humanitarian fields. In face of various challenges, she regarded all as opportunities for progress.
You don't look at when your boss gives you additional task, he is bullying you. No, to me, I see it like he's giving an opportunity for me to learn and to also test my capability whether I can do this.
Azura is able to gain a foothold in society. Apart from having extraordinary perseverance and excellent strategic perspective, the educational philosophy of her native family is the key.
My father, he never forced me to doing what he wanted to do. So he allowed me to become who I want to become. Both my grandmothers, they are my idol. Because my grandmothers are both single women, living in a village, and they're not working, they don't have a monthly income like us. I grew up with that model, that you can do it.
Stepping out of the comfort zone and moving forward step by step, women can also gain a foothold in society.
Recently, the United Nations team has shared with the Master their work results for the past year via cloud technology. They have also shared Tzu's efforts in Mozambique and Sierra Leone during the World Conference on Women in March. Let's join them there.
Both Buddhism and Catholic groups are able to gather in Sierra Leone and work together to help change the lives of the disadvantaged.
Although the COVID pandemic has been spreading globally, Tzu Chi's charity mission has not stopped. In Sierra Leone, Tzu Chi has provided hand-washing buckets to over 100 schools so that children can continue with classes. They have also educated the locals on female hygiene.
We will promote and share our work in Mozambique and Sierra Leone. We will share about the local education on environmental hygiene and also self-protection of females. We also discussed the problems which occurred due to the COVID pandemic.
In 2020, due to the pandemic, many people in India lost their jobs. 30 million children were unable to go to school and have become child labor. Tzu Chi has worked together with St. Camillus province to help these poor families.
We visited over 800 villages in India and held over 1,500 aid distributions. In total, we've helped over 88,000 families, bringing the total to 340,000 people.
也都是有共同的博爱仁爱彼此之间互相借力使力，这就是最圆满的爱
As Tzu Chi is heading into his 55th anniversary, the spirit of helping others regardless of race and religion must continue on, gathering love from all walks of life, helping others who are in need.
In West Java, Indonesia, a landslide disaster occurred in mid-February, resulting in hundreds of residents being left homeless. They are currently living in temporary shelters but lack supplies, so the volunteers prepared rice and daily necessities to distribute to them.
A large area of the mountain was washed away by rain, with 2 houses on the mountain being submerged. This is Karya Mikir village in Garut County, West Java. In February, a landslide occurred and more than 70 families were forced to evacuate.
Begitu banyak ibu-ibu dan anak-anak
Most of the shelters are now where women and children are temporarily sheltered. After our visit, we found that the supplies are obviously insufficient. The living space is also very small, so we brought supplies from Bandung, hoping to solve their immediate difficulties. I also hope that they'll face this test with patience.
The survivors of the disaster have been indeed tested one after another. First of all, the pandemic led many poor families to have difficulty making ends meet, and now the local government has to ask Tzu Chi for help again.
I represent the military and the residents here. I'm so grateful that Tzu Chi can come to provide assistance. I didn't expect after sending out the message for help, volunteers came within 2 days to distribute supplies.
In the rainy season this year, flood disasters in Indonesia are not as severe as before. However, because the pandemic continues, many families are struggling financially. Tzu Chi continues to provide necessary assistance to families in need, hoping to accompany them through these difficult times.
In Malaysia's Sabah, many people lost their jobs because of the pandemic. The families in Talipok have been living without electricity or running water. Some of them even drink rainwater. Food is scarce as well. Upon learning about the situation, the volunteers quickly enacted an emergency distribution to help these people.
20-some families which live in a construction workers' housing area in Sabah's Talipok are facing food shortage during this pandemic and need major help.
Work has been suspended due to COVID. As the pandemic is still severe, we are forced to stop working. The neighbors sometimes give us rice and veggies.
2 kilo beras, sayur, ambil sayur. 1 kilo adalah 3 hari kami makan. Kita makan bubur saja. Ada lauk tak? Tidak. Ada garam. Garam lah dan kecap. Tidak, tapi saya kasih lah selama ini dia minum alsun saja. Gula.
This was an area when construction company workers lived, but the owner moved away. The villagers live across the way and are without running water or electricity. We only recently heard of their situation, and now during the movement control order, they have not been able to leave their home to work.
Kota Kinabalu Tzu Chi volunteers quickly arranged for a distribution when they heard of the difficulties of these villagers.
This time we're distributing 40 bags of rice and 2 cartons of drinking water. Each pack has 2 items, 2 flour and 2 sugar.
The villagers received these emergency supplies following guidelines for pandemic prevention measures. Many also donate a little of what they had to reciprocate Tzu Chi's love.
Jadi ini satu semangat lah tolong menolong. Jadi lain kali kalau kamu ada nampak orang susah, harap kamu pun ada semangat yang sama, boleh tolong sama orang lain juga.
Alhamdulillah, syukur. Thank you so much for helping everyone here. We're so happy to have received your assistance. We finally have food to eat again.
Tzu Chi volunteers visit the village once more to support the residents with supplies so they do not have to go hungry anymore.
Also in Malaysia, due to the pandemic, although the Lunar New Year blessing gatherings have been cancelled, Tzu Chi volunteers still deliver the red envelopes of blessing and wisdom to the Dharma families, touching their hearts.
Kita City volunteers are visiting their Dharma families to deliver red envelopes of blessing and wisdom, touching the hearts of senior volunteers.
We appreciate the Master for giving us red envelopes of blessing and wisdom every year. The Master remembers every disciple, so we should be grateful to her.
Although we cannot gather in big groups, we hope to deliver Master's red envelopes of blessing and wisdom to everyone in a stately way. If the venue is available, we'll gather in small groups. For those who cannot come out, we deliver it to them. Our team supervisors will accompany the team leaders. We hope everyone receives the Master's blessings.
Wearing uniforms is the most steadily we are Tzu Chi volunteers.
Putting on hair clip and uniform, 85-year-old Lim Soon Lee received the Master's blessings with utmost respect.
Thank you, Master. I am very happy. She has the intention to give us the red envelope of blessing and wisdom. Master, I want to follow you. I will continue to follow you. Master, I will do it till my last breath.
Although her legs are no longer agile, 86-year-old Chen Ling Hao still collects donations and does recycling at home.
I hope the master will stay strong. May the master be healthy. We'll also be healthy. Everyone in good health. May our legs be strong, so we can continue to carry out Tzu Chi's work.
Volunteers not only work to benefit the public, they also embrace vegetarianism.
We should adopt the vegetarian diet with sincerity. I hope we can soon take off the facial mask, say good words, and do good deeds.
To prepare for Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary sutra adaptation performance, Tzu Chi volunteers use a screw assembly method to build a stage, allowing it to be disassembled and reused.
The screws are locked one by one, assembled into more than 80 pieces of stairs, which become part of the stage.
After we are done with locking screws, we will then mark them. This will make it simpler to assemble in the future.
Although it is environmental friendly, choosing an assembling method is a challenge for the senior master carpenter.
If we connect it to the last one, the difference here is 1 centimeter. The other side becomes 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters. The level of the last piece will be much worse.
If you measure the up and down position, the front and back will run away, but if you use the front and back position as the reference, the up and down position will run away. So this is what is troublesome to us.
In order to solve the problem, sometimes it takes an hour to squat on the ground. For a carpenter with 48 years of experience, this often happens. When sewing the bottom post and adjusting the height, our own magic weapon can deal with the uneven floor.
The level of the iron frame has been completed, so the wooden ladder must be as high as it.
It was not straight and crooked when it was sawed, so I sawed it neatly.
Everyone divides the work and cooperates, pays attention to the details, just like an army of the ants who work together to achieve this performance.
Among the volunteers building the stage, there are 2 carpenter experts, Tan Min-yue and Lai Lai Chen, who have a combined of 50 years of experience. They both have a heart of treasuring resources and do not let things go to waste.
From scrap wood to chairs, the valuable resource of wood is extended.
When I did interior construction in the past, the leftover wood materials were taken to the incinerator, but now I know and have a heart of repentance. I know we shouldn't waste things like that. We can save the pieces and assemble it into a chair. This extends the life of the pieces of wood, and who knows, maybe this chair can last for 10, 20, or 30 years.
With over 50 years of experience underneath their belts, Lai Lai Chen and Chen Mingyue have the same understanding on this job.
We try not to waste the materials that we have. We cut the small pieces from the big pieces. And the even smaller pieces we can pick up and reuse. We don't let anything go to waste.
Building a stage for sutra adaptation is not easy, as the team of volunteers with different opinions must work together harmoniously.
Each of the brothers have a different point of view and a very different way of doing it, but we'll all compromise and work together with a heart of acceptance. In the end, it's all in the way that we treat one another.
I'm very happy because the sutra adaptation can influence and inspire more people. We hope more people can get to know Buddhism. This way, society can be more peaceful as our hearts are more at ease.
It is estimated that in 8 days, the stage for the volunteer performers will be completed, and it is all thanks to the dedication of this team of construction brothers.
On Bohol Island in the Philippines, Tzu Chi scholarship recipients must complete community service before semester ends. Some helped to clean the streets, while others taught young children to read or gave out grain powder to underweight children.
Sharing the food with the thin people.
It is really helpful for him because he is underweight.
Our barangay, by instructing them first the procedure and how to take the multigrain and feeding them.
Read a book for the illiterate children.
Teach a child, and it was really a great pleasure for me to help the child, and such a heartwarming when the child would say, "Salamat te kay imo kong gitug-anan."
The sharing of a community service every semester is the highlight of the humanity class of scholarship recipients.
Monitoring the blood pressures of our residents and monitoring the weights and height of the children.
Neighborhood tutorial and church gathering and coastal cleanup also.
Although you have been helped by others, as long as you are grateful, you can also feel the joy of helping others.
In Sichuan, China, high school girl Liu Jia has a beautiful life. Her father passed while her mother left home, so she lives with her grandparents. Tzu Chi volunteers in Chengdu visit her every 3 months, giving her support and comforting the two elders.
Looking out from the car window, the scene changed from high-rise buildings to rural farms. The distance between Sichuan Chengdu to Yiben is 257 kilometers. This is a visit that is promised to pay every 3 months. After Lunar New Year, volunteers and the residents make dumplings and eat them together happily. Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Liu Jia lives with her grandparents. For the family's shortcoming, volunteers fill it diligently with love, while it is also hoped that the words in Tzu Chi's monthly can enrich her life.
一些具体的事情，然后教会我们一些人生的经验和道理。细的看，看了以后，你可以用你自己的语言，然后讲给别人听。
跟刘家认识接触还是有。
I have known Liu Jia for nearly 4 years. When I first came here, she was still in the 2nd grade of middle school. Now she is in the 2nd grade of high school. She would contact us proactively to tell us everything happens at home. She'll take the lead to communicate with us, which is very good.
In a close environment, someone suddenly came to care about me and help me. I had a feeling of someone understood my own thoughts. Then I became very happy.
The yellow red blossoms outside her home and the volunteers in blue and white uniform accompanied Liu Jia to face the common college entrance examination.
According to statistics, 13% of Taiwan's population is vegetarian, yet most people are still meat eaters and rely upon the animal husbandry industry in counties such as Pingdong, Yunlin, and Zhanghua. However, this industry is a major cause of pollution with high concentrations of nitrogen and phosphorus organic matter, which can endanger public safety.
Looking down from the air, the surface of Donggang Creek is completely dark, which is in sharp contrast to the duck farm next to it.
There are some livestock farms next to it as it is very dense.
Pingdong is a major pig-raising county in Taiwan. Its output value accounts for 1/4 of domestic pork production. Local livestock farms spread all over the banks of Donggang Creek.
In fact, the largest pollution in Donggang Creek is accounted for about 70% from livestock.
On the surface of this creek, there are countless black objects floating, all of which are livestock dung.
The biogas from pig feces and urine is too hot, and the fish can't stand it as there is no oxygen, so the fish turned over on their stomachs and died.
In the process of raising pigs to promote their growth, there will be some antibiotics and hormone given during feeding, and drug-resistant genes may spread to the environment.
This pipe is discharging wastewater from a pig farming. It's still so dark, but the discharge should be clean.
This black water has a high concentration of organic waste. It is the water used to clean animal excrement.
Although livestock wastewater is nutritious, actually for rice fields, its nitrogen level is too high, which is not a very good thing as rice crops could fall.
Donglo Creek is 34 kilometers long and flows through 9 villages and towns in Zhanghua. Pollution by livestock spreads across the entire river.
The wastewater they discharge from animal husbandry industry is the black water that we are seeing now.
There are many pig farmers who secretly bury pipes and discharge directly. You can see in our farmland as untreated pig feces flow out.
Whether it is raw, untreated livestock wastewater or that is not completely treated wastewater, it is discharged into the river day and night, causing an ecological imbalance. The vast amount of common water hyacinth covers Donglok Creek and Zhanghua. How do these exotic plants in the middle and upper reaches of the river related to animal husbandry industry nearby?
Livestock wastewater is too high in nitrogen and phosphorus, as it will lead to eutrophication.
Bird photographer Xie Wenyo used his lens to capture the beauty of ecology, but the beauty was polluted.
After the water is polluted, the number of painted snipe and winter migratory birds, like the common sandpiper, have also decreased.
The west coast of Taiwan, from south to north, is almost surrounded by livestock pollution. Now even their eastern region has fallen victim. Cattle wastewater is directly discharged into irrigation ditches, and farmers use their mobile phones to take pictures of the situation.
Livestock wastewater are put directly into fields, and the whole smell makes it hard to work. There are people downstream who want to use water, but they can't use it.
The livestock pollution of pigs and cattle is mainly waterborne, while the livestock pollution of chickens, ducks, and geese is mostly in the air. The fence of the chicken farm is covered with a thick dust.
Because they expose the chicken manure, it will fly over to the vegetables, which will be covered by chicken manure dust. It's suffocating as the pollution of chicken farms is so serious that I couldn't grow rice or vegetables at the time. Only dragon fruit can survive.
This is a chicken farm in Dapi Township, Yunlin County, covering an area as large as 7 hectares. The operator erected a heavy iron building and fence around the property so that nearby residents can't see what's going on inside. However, multiple monitors have been set up outside the site to keep track of environmental personnel and the whereabouts of local residents.
Air pollution, water pollution, we are very opposed to letting them expand.
Livestock farms are becoming bigger and bigger, and pollution sources are becoming more and more numerous.
If this chicken farm has avian influenza virus, it will spread when transporting the manure from this farm.
I hope the government, when granting legal business licenses, will supervise livestock pollution to improve the problem of environmental pollution.
Various pollution comes from pig-related matters, as many wonder if the true cost of meat is worth it. The cost borne by the environment is not only paid for by nearby residents who are first to bear it, but also all of us who live on this shared land.
Owing to the pandemic, schools finally restarted in Argentina after 1 year of suspension. So the volunteers prepared seasonary bags for many students. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and see you next time.